I know, clickbait. I'm not in the 79, I'm running the 7600. 76 is going to become the new 4230. It's just going to stay here for forever. My grandkids are going to be talking about how Grandpa just simply refuses to let the 7600 go. I mean, she might be running on 3 tires and a bunch of kind of sketchy bearings, but she keeps running. As right into my original question, so who out there has actually got some not so great weather looking at them? Because that's what they're calling for us tomorrow, is severe storms starting about 8 o'clock tonight, and it's supposed to carry right on through till tomorrow night sometime. I think for tomorrow night they're not so much calling for rain, but then they're calling for 40-mile-an-hour gusts. I know, I'm hoping it's just the spring indicator. Just spring weather. Well, I'm kind of leaning towards that's what this is. It's kind of the beginning of the spring warm up, because this weather's coming through, and then after today's Thursday, Friday, so by Saturday, Sunday, Monday, I mean they're calling for 60s. How's Tyson doing? Are you guys thawing out at all? I mean, further north, further west, I understand, but I'm hearing in the Dakotas and Minnesota, they're pretty well snowed in. I'm hearing like a couple feet worth of snow. Do you have any flooding issues? I'm sorry if the video's choppy. You guys are sitting, you're sitting in the phone holder, but at the same time, it really is as rough as it looks. Hey, Dale. Well, the thing is, I don't know if you, in Platteville, you guys probably had snow over there, but for us, I mean, we avoided the snow and we actually dried out a bunch. I'm seeing some guys are in the fields doing chiseling, but at the home farm, more exposed, we could have maybe gotten away with chiseling, but don't let them fool you. It's still tacky down there. Alicia, oh, you guys didn't get snow? I don't know. I'm hoping we can avoid another year of avoiding severe weather. I mean, for us, we're just trying to do all of our cow lots, getting them all cleaned out. We're on farm 2 of 3 that needs to be, cleaned up, scraped up. We're not done at the home farm. We're not going to be done down here like to 100%, but we're cleaning up like bed packs that are 3 or 4 months old. So getting them cleaned up now, and even if I go through and spread it out light on the pastures, and some of our pastures really good benefits from some fertilizer. Oh, I broke it. Damn it. Alright, well, I gotta call the skid steer. Alright, well, that's what I'm dealing with. And it's really stringy. It's that wrapped oatledge stuff. And what happens is you get that stringy alfalfa and oatledge where it doesn't really want to break apart, so you just get these big nasty wads of manure. And the spreader, being a single beater, horizontal beater at that, it can't break that apart, and all it's doing is slipping the slip clutch. Brand new slip clutch, but stopping before it just completely ruins it. All right, so as we wait for the skid steer, what we're doing is trying to get our lots cleaned out. Yes, still going to be bedding the cattle down, but going through and having to clean up a month's worth or maybe 6 weeks worth of manure, I can find somewhere to spread that during the summer, I mean after the crops are in, versus, I mean, each of these farms is taking a little over a day to get done. So I'm hoping that we can actually go through and get our chiseling done. I mean, we got about 2 days worth of chiseling to do between all 3 farms. To have really sharp beater teeth, we did when it was new, but they are starting to get kinked over, so instead of the teeth being straight on, it's hitting it at an angle. It doesn't really cut in it too good. And the problem is, if you get too much on here, you'll get, here, you'll get those big wads, clumps of manure. Ugh. And it makes it a nightmare trying to chisel through that stuff. My window is absolutely dirty. I have a hard time finding a clean spot for you. I ain't cleaning this thing up until we're out of the mud though. Ryan actually pressure washed it off a week ago, and as you can tell, it really isn't all that noticeable. We're running, probably in the mid 40s, low 50s. As far as temps go, we're not getting down super cold at night. I'd say in the early morning it's like 25, 26, but if the sun comes out, you start warming up really quick. Grass is growing down at the valley. They are calling for severe weather tomorrow. I hope it's just a simple little thunderstorm like we're used to getting. Well, that's what they're saying. They have so much snow to the west and to the north of us. What's that going to do to the river levels if all that melts all at once? Because that's what's happening out west, really. Is, yeah, they've been screaming that they need moisture. Well, now they finally got it, and now they don't know where to go with it because all their reservoirs are basically at 100% from what I keep hearing. Well, that's the thing that's a little bit concerning too. Everybody's screaming it's going to be a late spring when you got all that snow. Like some guys are saying they got 2 to 8 inches of snow, or feet of snow, not inches. Okay, but what happens if all that melts in the span of 2 or 3 days? I mean, it doesn't take really long for the snow to melt. It could actually be dry and in the field a lot quicker than you think. 2 weeks, give or take, as long as that water has someplace to go. No, we did not get any snow last weekend. You could actually see the line across country. The next town south of us is where the snow line was. And as you're going into town, you could actually look up and see where the snow had actually started. I would have said right around Platteville. And then like to the east of us, it was white. But then it was dry, everything to the west, so... I don't know. I'm over the white snuff. I don't want to deal with any more snow at this point. I mean, oh, here he comes. I mean, you're getting to this kind of weather where it's dry, the ground is firmed up enough. Going around and start checking fences and everything. I've had years where I've checked fences with, you know, banks of snow along the fence lines. But ideally, I'd rather not have to do that. But I do know for a fact I do not like checking fences in June, like after planting, because everything greens up, and trying to get through the woods when the grass is growing and the brush is all grown out, and it just it makes it more of a job than what it needs to be. Hi David, how's it going? You guys want to watch Dad? Granted, I'm sure he doesn't appreciate being on camera. But all he's got to do, this is the second time we did this today, and he just pretty much got to spin the beater and get the blockage of the wrapping off of, off the beater. At least he's got the grapple bucket. Before he just had the regular bucket. But one of those is almost a mainstay on the farm. Got talking to my buddy yesterday. We were talking about different things that we have, we get used to having, and then going from having it to not having it available. And then you wonder how you ever survived not having it available. I mean, for him, he was talking about his dump wagon, his rock wagon. He said he went the last year and a half without one. He says, yeah, I'm really hurting not having something like that. Bigger like hay wagons would definitely nice. Having a loader, more than one loader available. I mean, we went from 4 technically to just one for a number of years, and now we're back to three skid steers. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, by the time we get a new or a different spreader around, there isn't gonna be much, if any, life left in this spreader. It's already on its last leg. That's why I kind of teeth grinding seeing him pry on it too much. It was sunny and nice the last couple days. Pull ahead, run it, and we're good. Awesome. Oops. You guys can watch that. Yeah, I think that the deer steer and the 9770, I think they're both neck and neck to Dad's favorite purchases in recent years. Love running that 9770, but just having a monster of a skid steer is super nice too. I get you guys all seasick here. Well, and the problem is, this is that oatledge stuff that I've been feeding out, and the problem I have with it is it's in the hay feeder, and the cows, they sift through it, they get all the oats and stuff out that they can, but then as they're pulling it off the bale, they're dropping a bunch of it right directly on the ground below the feeder next to it, and that is what you guys are looking at. That stomped on, I mean, multiple layers of that wrapped oats or oatledge. So it's, yeah, it's a pain. Vertical beater spreader for the win, but I mean, the checkbook can only do so much in any given year. And I am pretty much in the market of, I don't want to buy anything right now. I don't know if I even told you guys. Let's try this. There we go. I don't know if I even told you guys about the bulls we brought home. Because Dad and I went to a bull sale. Oh, damn it. Well, at least he's not out of the field yet. I'll be right back. Oh well. Oh gosh, no. The 7920 is clearly in the win for Dad's favorite tractor. Yeah. Oh, I guess I've been ignoring all your comments. I'm sorry. Growing rice in the valley. No. The thing is, it might be such a thing that you can raise a crop that isn't typically grown in a specific area, but the problem is you have to factor in your infrastructure. How far do you have to truck that crop to get to a processing plant? Wheat Wheat is a crop that gets brought up a lot as far as why we don't raise it. And the reason being, they're only really taken like commercially every once in a great while. Sorry, it isn't taken for very long. But the problem is the basis, or what Ryan would charge to truck it to the elevator that typically is open for accepting wheat, wouldn't make it worth it. I mean, what did we have to really get to gain from it? Selling wheat straw? Well, the problem is you're hauling all that material off your field. There. You're hauling all that material off your field. Well, you got to build the nutrients back somehow. I mean, we make a lot of fodder year in and year out. Not really because I want to, but because we have the cattle. And at least in that regard, the cattle are putting nutrients back into that fodder, into that bedding. At least we can haul it back out in the fields. This should be pretty straightforward though. Phew. See, it's at least dry enough out. Like Dad actually, I'm sorry, I should put the camera on me. We break something? Oh, we broke the bucket. That's no big deal. We just busted a hose in the grapple bucket. Won't be the last time. It's definitely not the first time. I think we're at like 20, 30 times now. There, we're good there. She's spewing oil. Let me go look at it. And just like that, we're done, folks. The grapple bucket's out of commission. And the problem with it being out of commission is we need the grapple bucket to kind of help tear some of the stuff up. So I guess we're fixing that. Which we are, like I said, we are beyond, well beyond the original hoses on that grapple bucket. But at least they're simple enough, they're easy to get to. And hoses really aren't that expensive. Run this out. I mean, what's everybody else doing? Everybody's sitting inside waiting for the snow to melt? Let's see here. Pressure set too high. Turn the pressure down. No, pressure has nothing to do with it. The hose got down into the hinge and it got cut in two. So the pressure got rapidly released from the hose. What snow? Yeah, I don't know. For us, we haven't had enough snow for the snowmobiles to really run all winter in probably 5 years now. And what I always joke about is 11 p.m. and almost bedtime there. Well, dude, I appreciate your commitment there, Robert. What I've been telling Dad and Ryan, everybody, is when you hear that the snowmobile club isn't going to bother putting up their snowmobile trails anymore, or just skip it for a year, that's the year you need to basically stock up on all your overwinter supplies, because we'll have record amount of snow. But with not getting a whole bunch of snow either, it does make it a little bit nicer not having to check fences, because you get a lot of snow build up in your fences and they melt out. That snow will actually drag the barbed wires right down with it. Hey, old timer Dave, how's it going? Not all the weather here. Rhode Island. Oh, cool. I can do 50-degree weather at this point. 50s and 60s will be in the machine shed. Working on getting oils and everything changed. We already started doing the 46, the 4020, or at least got the oils and the filters changed on them. Got to go through and shine up all the battery cables, check the battery levels, all the fluid levels on them, and one of the last things we'll do, typically when we're closest to being in the field, will be washing them off, cleaning the cabs out. I got a new hitch for the planter. We got to get that put on. We're going to go with the hammer strap versus the typical hitch we've had on it. Wind and wildfire watch. Well, that sounds terrible. The wind has been pretty nasty here lately. I mean, would it be too much to have strong wind to go up across that whole panel project to the north of us? Take that out? I mean, I didn't say that. All I can say is I hope that the weather isn't going to be too bad. I'm just hoping maybe a little bit of lightning and the wind blows a little bit, and maybe a half-inch or so of rain. Let it soak in, if at all possible. Well, here's the thing. You're guaranteed we're going to have bad weather once the panels are installed. I'd just like to see a bunch of nasty weather before they can even get them put in, to make it as terrible for them as possible to get them put in. I don't have anything specifically against the workers that are doing it, because at the end of the day, you got to get that paycheck, right? My issue isn't with the people that are necessarily, trying to make a living. My issue is with the project itself, because having to accept the fact that we're going to have to deal with those solar panels for the rest of our lives, and how much it's going to change this area for the worse, that's kind of hard to accept. But I do hear that it's not just this area. These big panel projects are going in all over the country. I hear up by east of Madison, I think there's 2.2 million panels going in, or at least supposed to be going in a project up there. But the windmills are really starting to go in too, real strong to the north of us. Like the big ones. I thought they were the big ones that were already in. No, the ones they're putting in now are like 700 feet tall. But tell you what, I'm actually happier that the grapple bucket broke. If anything was going to break, I'd much rather it be that than the spreader, because the shear bolt for the web that drives the web, that does break every 30 loads or so, and I think it's just because it's got a little bit of play where, I mean, the spreader's not new, give me a break. It's got a little bit of play where the bolt actually goes through, and from the bolts that have actually been broken off already, it looks to me like they're working back and forth in there, and they're just snapping off, because I was just putting in grade 5s, and here just lately I was doing this last one was a grade 8. The problem is, you look around outside and it just screams spring. So you know, you go from, you know, 20-degree days, freezing weather. Well, it's kind of hard to be super ambitious, especially when, you know, everything's froze, right? But then it seems like overnight it dried out, it thawed out, the snow is gone, about 99% of it is, and now all of a sudden you start listing off all the things that you'd like to start getting worked on. 45 degrees, we got, like I said, we got grass growing down at the valley, and it was a little bit of a challenge, but I did happen to find a trencher for the skid steer to rent. I don't need to own it, because for what little bit I need to trench with it, renting it is such a better deal, because to own it, you're talking like $6,000 versus owning it, or renting it was, what did I say, renting it is like $200, $220 for 2 days. Owning it is over $6,000, and all I really need to do is I only need it for like 30 minutes, but I gotta drive clear to Darlington just to get it. But it's gonna dry out because I got some ground that refuses to dry out. It insists on holding on to moisture. You guys want to see the grapple bucket? I'll show you the grapple bucket quick before I go. And we've had this on all the skidders. Oh, yeah. But it's no big deal. Ooh, looks like we may have caught that. No, we didn't. It's just right. But this one, there's not much holding her on. But it just fell down on the hinge. I've done it like 30 times. So that's it for this video, folks. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Next video is coming out on Sunday, so it's uploading right now. Talk to you later.